Many people are claiming that Donald Trump has just lost the key swing state of Georgia. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back again with a new video, and today we have to talk about the 2024 presidential election because many people are panicking right now, and I know this isn't something new. For crying out loud, it seems like every hour at this point, no, every minute, there's someone dooming about something different. Whether it's something very stupid or something that's actually kind of serious, it seems like someone on the right is dooming about something. Well, now a lot of people are looking at this new Truth Social post by Trump just yesterday, and many people are saying it's the end of Trump. He has just lost the state of Georgia. I am not kidding. One Truth Social post made everyone lose their freaking minds. So I decided, you know what? We're going to go over what Trump actually said, look at the current polling data out of the swing state, and talk about, is Trump actually cooked in Georgia? Because that just sounds crazy. One post somehow makes the state of Georgia a Democrat state. So let's read what Trump had to say. Brad Raffensperger has to do his job and make sure this election is not stolen. Brian Kemp should focus his efforts on fighting crime, not fighting unity in the Republican Party. His crime rate in Georgia is terrible, his crime rate in Atlanta is the worst, and his economy is average. He should be seeking unity, not retribution, especially against the man that got him the nomination through endorsement and without whom he could have never beaten Stacey Abrams. He and his wife didn't think he could win. And this is what it's about. Trump is going after Brian Kemp, and this is what's making people freak out. Not necessarily the Brian Raffensperger stuff, that's whatever, like, okay, who cares? Brian Raffensperger and Trump, they hate each other. But the Trump-Kemp drama, it's still going on in the year of 2024. I want to be clear about one thing. I think this is stupid, all right? I don't think this helps anyone. This feud that Trump and Kemp has, it doesn't help anyone. I think it's worthless. It's a waste of time. Just stop. This feud between the two of them is dumb. But I don't get why people are making a big deal about what Trump said here. Like, read what he actually says. He says Brian Kemp should be focused on unity, should focus on the crime rate in Atlanta. For a Trump attack, that is pretty tamed. Remember what he said about Jeb Bush and Marco Rubio back in 2016? Remember that? Yeah. So, this attack, it's not really an attack. It's like kind of a public warning, I guess. Even then, it's like, whoop-de-doo. It's not really that bad, especially for Trump standards. I said, I'm telling you that you're going to win. Then he won. He was happy and his wife said, thank you, sir. We'll never be able to make it up to you. Now she says she won't endorse me and is going to write in Brian Kemp's name. And that's what I think this is about. Brian Kemp's wife is saying a lot of dumb stuff. It's like Jeff Duncan. For those that don't know, that guy's the former lieutenant governor of Georgia. He's garbage. The guy's a complete rhino. He supported Biden. Now he endorsed Harris. The guy's a complete joke. And now, you have Brian Kemp's wife saying some very dumb stuff. Like, really? Why would you publicly say the stuff you said about Trump? Don't you understand that Trump and Kemp still have a feud? Why publicly announce that? At the bare minimum, say nothing. You don't have to say a damn word. But for whatever reason, she thought, oh yeah, I'm going to say I'm not going to vote for the orange man. I will write in Brian Kemp's name. Really? That's your strategy? But either way, this is the attack everyone's talking about. They're making a big deal that it's over for Trump. He's going to lose the presidency. It's over. What? Somehow attacking, or not even an attack, this is nothing for Trump standards, but somehow talking about unity and going after crime, that's somehow going to cost Trump the state of Georgia? What? Now, I get the theory that, well, Brian Kemp, he's a well-liked governor, and attacking him's not the best strategy. I agree with that. I am not saying this is a good move by Trump. I don't think this wins any new voters over. But at the same time, is it really that big of a deal? Remember, John Kasich was supposedly a beloved governor of Ohio. He hated Trump, and vice versa. How did that go? Trump killed Clinton and Biden in Ohio. That's without Kasich's support. That's a fact. So this idea that, well, Trump's going after a popular governor, it's over for him, that's not true. Again, gubernatorial elections don't mean squat. For example, Chris Sununu is beloved in New Hampshire. He supports Trump. Does that mean Trump's gonna win New Hampshire? No. That's what people gotta understand. Just because Trump is going after Brian Kemp, it doesn't automatically mean he's gonna lose the state. That's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But I do want to go over the state of Georgia and explain why it is, in my opinion, a must-win state. If Trump loses Georgia, he might be in trouble. And I'm not one of those people that think this will cost him the state, but I don't think it's necessarily smart to go attack Brian Kemp. And that's for two reasons. Number one, he's well-liked. That could be a valuable asset. Again, that doesn't mean everything. Again, just because he's well-liked, he has a high approval rating, that doesn't mean him endorsing Trump is going to cost or give Trump the state of Georgia by like 15 points. That's not going to happen. But it can't hurt him to get the support of Brian Kemp. But secondly, and this is more important, Brian Kemp has a machine in Georgia. It's not talked about enough, but he actually has a machine going in Georgia. He won by like, what, 8 points? And I know he was going to get Stacey Abrams, but a big part of the reason he won by so much is, well, he had a great ground game. He won by 8 to 9 points or whatever it was because he had a phenomenal ground game. He got people out to vote. I think Trump should make a deal with Kemp. If they stop the feud, they can work together at trying to flip Georgia, which, like I said, I consider to be the must-win state of the cycle for Trump. If he loses Georgia, I think he loses the presidency. And I know that sounds kind of crazy, like, well, Pennsylvania's worth more electoral votes. Yeah, but with Georgia, if you win it, well, you're probably doing good enough in Arizona, probably doing good enough in Nevada. More than likely, again, these are different states, but you get the point that if you're winning Georgia and by a couple points like the polls suggest, you're probably up in the other the Sunbelt states. Therefore, you just need one more state to win the presidency. But if you lose Georgia, yeah, you could be up in Nevada, but Arizona, you're probably losing. At that point, Trump needs to win Pennsylvania and one other state. That's the problem here. Georgia, it's more important because you're going to win Arizona at that point. I really believe that. If you're winning Georgia by 2 to 3 points, you've won Arizona, you've won Nevada, etc. That's why it's important to win Georgia. It's a must-win state. Now, when you look at the current state of polling in Georgia, Trump is up by 2 points. And that's with a garbage Bloomberg poll in the average, which again, go look at my Twitter. I have debunked it so many times. It's very bizarre. Like they have rural voters in Michigan voting for Trump or Biden, but then urban voters swing 10 points Republican. It's bizarre. It's very weird stuff, but even with that in the average, Trump is up by 2 points. But more notably, he is at just under 49%. That means he's about to crack 50%. It doesn't matter what you do. If Trump gets 50.1% of the vote, it doesn't matter what Harris does. Trump won Georgia no matter what. If he gets a simple majority by one vote, he's won the state of Georgia. And he's already at 49%. With undecideds allocated, I guarantee you he's probably over 50%. That is good news for Trump. Because, again, if he's above 50%, mathematically speaking, he's won Georgia. He's won the key swing state that I argue is the state he has to win. Therefore, giving him a good pathway to the presidency. He's already winning by 2 points. Now, you could argue, well, it's early, maybe Harris is picking a momentum, but you notice something about the polling in Georgia for Harris? Notice something very odd. It's either 46% or 47%. That's it. It's consistently 46, 47, 47, 46, 47. It's not, she's at 51% in one poll, she's at 42 in the other. No. She is consistently at 47%. That's kind of a big deal. Because that could suggest, I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but it could suggest Harris has some kind of ceiling in Georgia. Like, okay, she's consistently getting 48% of the vote. Much better than Biden. You can look at the Biden numbers. He was getting 42%. It was bad. But Harris, she's at 47%. The problem is, that's it. So far, she hasn't had a single poll where she's above 47%. She raised the floor for Democrats, but it seems like her ceiling is starting to be reached in some polling. Again, I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but that's what this suggests. And Trump is currently up by a couple points. So if Harris already reached her ceiling, that's good news for Trump. Now, as for the Brian Kemp attack, I don't think this changes anyone's minds. If you really think the average voter in Georgia, they're going to vote for Kamala Harris because of the attack against Brian Kemp, I'm sorry, but that's just, you're online too much. That's not going to happen. The average voter doesn't think like that. They think about the economy, immigration, crime. They don't think about, well, I was going to vote for Trump, but 5 months ago, he said something mean about Brian Kemp. Therefore, I cannot support him. The average voter doesn't think that way. They don't. I don't get why people believe that every voter, they pay attention to everything Trump says about Brian Kemp, about Brad Raffensperger. They don't. And even then, I'm pretty sure these voters are used to it. Hell, remember, Trump's been attacking Brian Kemp for not just months, for years now. Yet, when it was Trump versus Biden, Trump was consistently winning by 5 to 6 points. In recent months, it went down to 4 points, but either way, Trump's been consistently beating Biden for a year now. What does that tell you? That these attacks on Kemp, it doesn't really matter. It really doesn't. The average voter doesn't care. But again, I'm not saying it's a good idea to attack Kemp. It's a waste of time. It could cause some problems. I get that. But to say that he's going to lose Georgia because of this attack, no. That's not going to happen. The average voter doesn't care. That's what people got to get through their thick skulls. The average voter doesn't pay attention to everything Trump says. And at this point, like I said, they're used to it. They're used to Trump saying some weird stuff about popular governors like Brian Kemp. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Godspeed to all of you.